Hello folks, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. Let us just adjust this screen. Ta-da! And yeah, it's finally sized. It's been a few days since I last played. Been a few days. Um, some stuff is sold on the auction house. I put more stuff up in its place, then more stuff sold. I made a little bit of money since, but not too much. A few rings have sold. One of the plate Solettes, I think it was, sold. Uh, some lumber sold. You know, a bit here, a bit there. Everywhere, a bit. But, yeah, that's it. Sadly, I also didn't grab any quests. I was thinking I could grab some Beast Tribe quests and hold on to them, then do them, and then go do like, if I was playing for long enough, I could do them, then grab the next batch and do them, and not have missed a day, you know. But then I forgot. I'm also in the moment of downloading Vermintide 2 right now, re-downloading, so that's kind of getting in the way. Really should go play Vermintide 1, just for the sake of completing that. Square of oddly specific letter. It's fortunate that Skysteel engineers provided instructions as to how this letter ought to be tanned, as it is still impossible to tell what manner of creature it came from. Ooh, some more stuff is sold. Nice. Alright, we'll leave it at that. Oh, I never did head back to all of that to look at the other guys. I want to go level them up. Well, complete their training mission. Then see if I can't send them on another mission and for them not to get their asses kicked. Also, I wonder if I did a command mission, would that count towards the journal completion? Maybe, maybe not. Hmm. Hmm. This is frustrating. I think I need to change people's classes. I'll just make you you. Next rogue. Yeah, I think I need a better mix of people here. I think I can only have this many people. Let's see. Having another tank sounds like a good idea. Hello. Yeah. Some ways I'm thinking of getting rid of this guy. Wait. That's bizarre. It says store. Oh, okay, yeah, I got it now. we store all these in here, I'll actually have some inventory space. Sadly, you can only store particular things, but it still helps. I'm gonna go out here and see, can I buy a DPS tome? I want to see if I can make someone into a something else. Also, Christ, three levels at once. Okay, they do exist here, but I can't get them. I need to be first flame lieutenant, but I'm second flame lieutenant, so I'm a little too low. It's just obnoxious. Wait, out of curiosity, is it the same from the Marks guy? Friggin' loading screens. I've been really wanting to play other Final Fantasy games as of late, but I'm not sure if I'm allowed. They don't have their video. They say that you have to find out about for each series itself, but they have no information about it, and they won't respond to individual queries. So they have to give it unprompted, and are presently not giving it unprompted. It is quite frustrating. %100% anatomically correct. Beautiful. Site lag is annoying, but I am in the middle of downloading the other things, so bear with it. Can't remember where you check mount speed. Here we go. I kind of want to take her. I'm just thinking another melee might be useful. Maybe get rid of him for him. Maybe 2 healers, 2 tanks, and then the rest DPS. Yeah. Discharge. Sorry, mate. Careless Whisper. Serve both my grand company and my fellow Orisines as bravely as you do. Okay, I have to take it with that name. I actually rather like that song. Of course, the very first thing I noticed beyond the face was the plunging neckline. Like, jeez. Thinking I might actually get rid of you. I know, I'm not feeling it. Then again, I could get rid of you. Only a single point worse here. But if points higher here and here, though admittedly higher level too. Like 4. So, meh. Then again, Nanasomi was kind of adorable. Oh, wait. What am I doing? Remove the pugilist. Still not quite there. Yeah, no. I'm going to actually look up advice on these whole squadron missions things, because part of me feels I'm missing something. This didn't have any advice. Did a general idea that I already got of you use the training to buff the issues out in different ways. Suppose training courses. Yeah, do that. They're not suffering in the mental, it's strength and tactical where they're suffering. I hope. Alright, let's go deal with the fishmen. I always make that mistake. I confuse wine port and ale port. Didn't I see another Careless Whisper before? Maybe I saw that on the wiki. Oh yes. Let me just close this. While I was loading there, I just opened my phone, and since it's currently charging, that opened up everything. Oh, so I'm trying a slight different audio level now. Alright, let's see. What are we at? $46. 14 by 3. Well, 4 by 3 is 12, then 1 by 3 is 3, so but you carry the 1, so 42. So we need to do these 3 and 1 from over there. Alright. Seems to have still spawning grounds are producing more than baby Sahagan. Yeah. Seriously, the outfits just look like a beastie from... Just made me think of a beastie from Ratchet and Clank. I was hoping I could find pictures, but no. Don't actually need to fight these guys. I don't like how they're all together. It's rather obnoxious, you know? Like, it just doesn't look good. Just have them all come together like this. Because the story is that they've attacked a merchant man, not, you know, this cluster together. And it, you know, especially during like quest, you know, story missions and all that, you know, it just seems cheap. It just doesn't look right. Like there's a similar thing in one of the WoW dailies for, you know, the Shattered Sun offensive, but that was deliberately there's multiple ships coming in rather than they attacked a ship. Ooh. Whale of a Tail's up right now. Should have checked. There he is. I did not see him a moment ago. May have been there, may not have been there. I was thinking maybe I need to kill people to spawn them in, but I didn't think that was the case. Oh, or maybe you just... I guess you don't need to kill him in particular. It's just percentage. It's just completing the thing at all is enough. This needs to die. Be finishing off enemies to Gannet. There's also a slight lag, which is annoying me. There. I paused the download going in the background. That should get rid of the lag. Ass. Thank you, Gannet. Get a load of this. Orlando, Bri. Can you read it? Also, the whole class thing is just made me think of, you know, FF7 and this old soldier thing. Because the remake came out just the other day. And under Bri, drag you into the sea we will. I would love to play it, but I don't know its video policy. It's a pain in the ass to try and find out. I did try and contact them, but I heard nothing back. It's I still didn't try that affiliate, because really I don't know if he's actually even indeed affiliated. He might be just claiming it. So, like, I followed him so I can, you know, just find him when he tweets, but I have no idea how legitimate he is. I didn't even know they had an affiliate thing like that. So it's just, while others have gotten away with it and been fine, I don't want to be the one made an example out of, you know? I want to avoid that. Nov is in need of someone to watch his clutch. while he attends to an important task. Drumcoran. You know, fuck it. I wish to ask a tedious favor of you. There is a task to which I must attend. A task that will take me away from the nursery for a time. Thus I would have you watch over my clutch while I am gone. You need not feed or discipline the spawnlings. Fu, Hu, and Su will have such duties well in hand. Yeah. The coral tridents concern me. It would be foolish to think our acts of sabotage have escaped their notice, and they surely desire a vengeance. Thus far, my presence has been sufficient to deter any such reprisals. But should they learn of my absence? Where do you travel, Clutch Father? What is this task of which you speak? Do not question your elders, Sue. Your duty is care for your spawn brothers. That and not more. I leave the safety of the nursery to you, Drumcran. I will return as soon as I am able. But Clutch Father. God damn that tie gap. I'm jealous. I've never known the Clutch Father to leave the nursery in another's care. The fate of our people must hang in the balance. I wish he only that he would trust us with the details. Spawnlings we may be, but we've taken our warrior rights, and yet the Clutch Father will not even describe to us the battles of his youth. Now that I think on it, he's told us almost nothing of himself. We know little of his past or his part in the old wars. Will you do something for me, Drumcran? I want you to find out about this vital task. Learn if there's aught we can do to aid the Clutch Father. Many of our older can speak of him with reverence and respect. They live scattered about our territory, at the Reef of Sending, Reaver Hide, and even one on Moonshade Isle. They may need one of Path's Elvis to carry there. Perhaps in their stories you might hear the clue we need to solve this mystery. Now, to get them to speak with you, you need to show them this shell inscribed with our clutch mark. That should cause their memories to tumble forth of their own accord. The elders do love to reminisce about the old days. Silverfin Sahagan. Psh, let me be, Shorewalker. This is my isle. I'm harming no one. Nov's clutch mark. Shell inscribed with the insignia that identifies the bearer's affiliation with Nov's clutch. Why do you carry Nov's clutch mark? As he cast his lot in with the finless ones. But it is too late for Nov. His time ended long ago. Zug is the champion of the spawning grounds now. No other warrior is fit to claim the mantle of the... So, Nov was the Scarlet Sea Devil, once upon a time. And the reason for his absence was he retired, and his resurgence was because someone else defeated him. And presumably him refusing, I was thinking this earlier, but presumably him not talking much about his past and whatnot is because he regrets it. Probably why he goes so far, in trying to show Sahagan aren't all bloodthirsty and whatnot. He's trying to make amends. No other Zug is the champion of the spawning grounds now. No other warrior is fit to claim the mantle of the Scarlet Sea Devil. Mark my words, he shall rise to greatness on a mountain of Shorewalker bones. Zog will lead the Coral Tridents to victory. We'll go into the land of you Shorewalker slugs and build the most majestic spawning grounds in the history of our people. Christ, he went ham on that lisp. One here and one there. Yarr. This is a sacred place, Shorewalker. Only the tridents of fallen Sahagin are allowed to impale the reef of Sendin. You come at the behest of Nav's clutch. The spawnlings wish to know more of their clutch fodder, do they? It is odd that they send a Shorewalker, but then many things appear odd to my aged eyes. Listen well, Finless one. It's still, like, while he's acknowledging it's odd, to be fair, it is. Even to my eyes. But that just shows that, you know, their connection with me. The fact that he isn't trying to impale me right now says a lot. Well, I suppose it says a lot about the other guy too, but he was also reporting my death. Well, implied death, so. But then many things appear odd to my aged eyes. Listen well, Finless one. Nav was once the undisputed leader of the Cold Tridents. Mighty warrior who thought of naught but the glory and prosperity of his people. You tell his offspring that. Tell them they ought to be proud of their clutch fodder and his deeds. Rather aggressive. Beautiful. Why do you bother me, Finless one? I did not summon any reavers to do my bidding. I did not summon any reavers to do my bidding. So you're the ones the others have seen consorting with Nob's clutch. Fortunate for you that all Shorewalkers look the same to us. You come seeking your Sahagin friend. I hear Nov has come to parley with Zug and the Serpent's Tongue. Could only guess at the subject of their discussion. Here, take your shell back, Finless one. Just going to speak with the Scarlet Sea Devil. Well, the latest iteration. I wonder how many times there's been a Sahagin with Amantle. From what little we know, it's only been the once. Previously. I will be continuing this in a bit, but I know, every so often I feel like I need to push harder on these and just kind of focus on them, then they end up taking up all my time to record. Well, Drumkren, did the older ones have much to say? The Cushwater once led the Coral Tridents? Incredible. And now you say he goes to meet with the Trident's current leader. You cannot possibly expect to negotiate with those fanatics. The stink of ambush upon this parley reaches me even here. Oh, Cushwater, that is why you chose to attend the meeting without your spawnings. You mean to fight those savages alone. Villainous one. Strom Karen. I will willingly face battle myself, but I cannot abandon my duty to protect my Kochmates. It falls to you to ensure this does not end in tragedy. The Kochfather's meeting with the Cold Tridents in the Serpent's Tongue. You are the only one I can trust to rescue him when the Palanai turns sour, and you can be sure it will. The fact that he left us there to guard his Koch speaks of two things. Either us arriving would turn the Palanai sour, would sabotage it. Secondly, obviously he can send us in his place. Secondly, it could be viewed as him valuing his clutch above his own life, above himself. It can go one of either way, you know, maybe both. So. And obviously, I suppose there could be a scale to it. It mightn't be quite a strong use of it, if you get me. Like, it's true that he does value the tribe heavily, but more than his life, maybe not quite that strongly. You know, there's a bit of willingness for variance. Ooh. Lockjaw now kicked in. Yawned too strongly. You come alone into our lair, Nav. Your mind is as wilted as your fins, old one. I thought he had a mutated head and was concerned. Fair greeting to you too, young Zug. You have no right to call me by that name. I am the Scarlet Sea Devil. Enemies of the Cold Tridents tremble at my coming. You will do well to show some respect. Calm yourself, Zug. I did not come here to trade insults. I only wish to talk. Have you thought about our future, Zug? The future at Sahagan? Have you seen how our people fade into darkness, like the evening sun sinking below the ocean waves? Some poetry, Nav, become even more pitiful than I suspected. You were once feared above all, bloodthirsty as a shark, deadly as a ray's sting, savage as a sea serpent. The terror of the indigo deep. You were the first Scarlet Sea Devil. Have you forgotten who you truly are? So on the pickup? I consigned that title to the deep long ago, along with my hideous past. This is why your legacy must live on through me. The Cold Tridents will thrust their spears into the very heart of this land, and bathe in the gushing blood of the Finless ones. If we lack territory in which to spawn, then we shall take it by force. Our offspring will thrive on, and our offspring will thrive on sand that has drunk the life waters spilled from our enemies. I see my words are wasted on you. Is it so hard to understand, Zug? What is needed right now is diplomacy, not war. Your hubris will doom our spawnlings to live lives of violence and misery, with the edge of a soldier's blade, the only Cerces? Not a word I'm used to. The only doomed one here is you. Did you expect to leave here alive, Nov? Kill the traitor, rip off his fins, strip away his scales. You said he was weak now. Feeble. Cowards. Spineless sea dogs. The fact that the enslaved, serpent reavers fled, I would have figured they'd be mindless, not being able to break like that. Just kind of goes to show the guy's power. Return to the shallows, Zug. You're not ready for the ocean deep. This is far from over, old one. As the infirmities of age claim your vigor, I shall only grow stronger. We shall see which of us is remembered by history as the true Scarlet Sea Devil. He knows we're there. Drumcaren, you stood ready to rush to my rescue? Psh, I smell Siu's hand in this. I yet think of him as my little spawnling, but his instincts are those of a warrior grown. My strength has not dimmed so much that I need to cower behind the fins of my behind the fins of my offspring. But you have my thanks all the same. Come, let us return to the nursery. It would not be wise for you to linger here. The glow he gave off is suspicious. But, well, you see why he has a nursery named after him. Like, it's the only place here named after someone, you know? An explanation is in order, Drumcran. Sue, I would have you hear this as well. I'm listening, clutch fodder. There's much I've kept from the clutch, but the wreckage of my past cannot stay submerged forever. It is time to tell you my tale. 15 years ago, I led the Coral Tridents in countless acts of piracy. Pillage, slaughter, kidnapping. There was no foul deed I did not commit. For the shore workers of Lanoska, I was a nightmare made of flesh, a demon from the Indigo Deep. The Scarlet Sea Devil. All those I killed, all the land I seized, I did so for the future of my people. With not a single shred of doubt that my actions were just. I was as zealous as Zug is now. It is tradition among the Sahagan that our queen, the Indigo Matriarch, reward a proven warrior with a clutch of her eggs. Such a champion earns the right to become clutch fodder to the spawnlings thus hatched. Even among the elite, my victories overshadowed all others. The matriarch honored me with more than 100 eggs, from which many healthy offspring emerged. My clutch was the envy of the tribe. Never in my arrogance and pride did I expect what was to happen next. I returned to my nursery after typical campaign of looting ships, only to be greeted by a sight that haunts me to this day. The broken corpses of my spawnlings, strewn atop one another in a gruesome mountain of death. This was an act of pure vengeance. The shore walkers had trailed me to our island home and waited patiently for me to leave. Then they put my children to the sword. I wept and howled until it seemed my sanity had fled. Then all at once I understood. The blame for my spawnling's grisly fate, it belonged with me. Hate and suffering brings only more of the same. It draws you into a whirling maelstrom of reprisal and retaliation that leads to naught but a soulless abyss. My salvation lay in the few unhatched eggs that had somehow escaped the bloody retribution. I cast away my hollow dreams of glory and focused on raising my surviving sons, you and your spawn brothers, Sue. Scarlet Sea Devil died that day, and Nav the Clutchfather was born. I am proud of you, Clutchfather. We will stop the Coral Tridents, I promise you, not just for ourselves, but for the clutchmates we left behind. Does it all make sense now, Dromcoran? The reason I recruited you to our cause? To be truthful, I have never forgiven the Shorewalkers for what was done, but I'll never let my actions be guided by rage, for that path will not bring us the peace I desire. No, I'll create a legacy worth leaving for my children. Let us continue building that bridge, Dromcoran. Gilling me softly, tree. Oh. But yeah, I didn't quite expect that. But it does make sense for the Scarlet Sea Devil to have such a change of heart and the like. It would have to be a big thing. You know, if his body isn't vicious as what we're hearing, it would have to be a big thing. It can't just be some minor, such bloody retribution and the like. An enthralling engagement. Sue needs your help to prevent more needless conflict. Rainbow Tide Paship? The Serpent Reavers have been seen in the spawning grounds, herding prisoners to the water's edge. I do not doubt that they mean to offer the captive souls to the Lord of the World. This act of drowning our enemies provokes the most volatile reprisals from the Shorewalkers. I suspect we might react in a similar manner, were Urkin forced to worship one of your finless gods. Needless to say, avoiding such reprisals is the very reason you must free as many of these prisoners as you can. It is possible the ceremony has already claimed a number of Shorewalkers. Should you find any drowned among the captives, do not hesitate to strike, for they surely will not. Sue would have you delve deep into the spawning grounds. There is word that the Coral Tridents have perfected more powerful versions of their natural Welk ballista. It appears that much effort has been spent in breeding larger, more robust shellfish. The Tridents mean to take no chances when they next attack the tide gates. Fortunately for us, these unnatural weapons are yet being tested deeper within the spawning grounds. Now is our chance to destroy them before they can be transported to the front lines. Any attack on the ballista will likely bring swift reprisals, so be ready to defend yourself against the guards. Up in smoke. Sue needs a Shorewalker who isn't afraid to play with fire. In the port found within the spawning grounds, the Coral Tridents have been stockpiling goods pillaged during their raids. Lamp oil, foodstuffs, precious metals, all manner of supplies that can be put towards their war efforts. I want you to take this flintstone, and burn the lot. Leave them nothing but slag and cinders. The flames will likely summon the guards, but that shouldn't worry a mighty warrior such as you. Ooh. Hopefully I reclaimed that point. Oh, didn't read that. We've ventured onto land solely to secure a place for the Indigo Matriarch to spawn, but spawning grounds remain untamed, for too many of our people see more honor in a spear than a mattock. Such is our need that we must turn to a Shorewalker for aid. Chief among our concerns is the gas sprayed from the local barnacles. Their noxious fumes would harm our eggs. The most effective way of dealing with this is to stuff their spring orifices with moon jellyfish. but beware saps of pugils while you stop at the barnacles. Do not take kindly to strangers manhandling their favourite snacks. Okay, it's 3, so abandon. Yeah, we got it back. Hugh is much troubled by the state of the spawning grounds. Seeks a handy shore walker for some white poison control. Beautiful. Yeah, they seriously look like a beastie from Ratchet and Clank. Maybe Ratchet and Clank 1. This might be a similar beastie in Ratchet and Clank 2. Like a fairy beast of some sort. But, yeah. In Ratchet and Clank 1, I swear there's something similar. Certainly similar eyes. And it's got that probably similar type of face. I would like to let's play that at some stage, but I don't know when that will be. Okay, let's use another Gashel Green. I'm not entirely sure I pronounced that. Moonshade. Sorry, my mind just drifted there. I kind of daydream rather compulsively. Not compulsively. I easily slip into daydreaming. Though in this case I was actually thinking about one of my novels and thinking an idea for it. To be honest, actually one of my novels spawned from just a daydream of mine. Just rejigging it for it to actually turning it into a novel. Obviously, since I'm writing this all under pen names, I'm not going to be actually saying any details. I've given you enough hints as is. But yeah, I've given you more than enough hints. I don't want to pull pull an same move my aunt did. What was it? The hell? I think that was someone's mount. Yeah. I can only imagine. But, to clarify what I was meaning there, I've said it in a few other videos before, but I'll say it again. My aunt is a writer as well, and she has wrote under her own name. Poetry in that case, though. The pine form of this jellyfish makes it perfect for jamming into and effectively sealing the gas-spraying opening of a noxious barnacle. But, yeah. She's wrote poems under her own name, but then she's also wrote novels of under a pen name. A dude's pen name. Or at least a novel under it. But on the website that for this pen name, she insists she has a mosaic of herself next to the name. like as the banner of it. She also insistently, despite the name being it could easily pass as a dude's name, she insistently refers to herself as she or her. And like I said, on top of having basically a picture of herself there. It's so puzzling, it actually almost pisses me off. Like, I just don't get it. Like, okay, you're gonna use a pen name. I can get that. Oh, just the one. I was expecting it to be like the weapon quest I'm about to do. But, yeah, she... Foot's gonna sleep. Like, I can get the idea of using a pen name. I'm gonna be using one myself. But what I don't get is using a pen name and then basically defeating the purpose of the pen name by showing who you are. And it's just like, it's, you know, she's gotten awards, she's made some name, a bit of a name for herself, you know? So it's not like she's a complete nobody. People would know of her to some degree. So, you know, it's just puzzling. Like I was saying, I could understand if it was, you know... I understand the idea of using a pen name. I'm going to be using one myself. But I'm not going to have a picture of myself next to it. And, like, I was thinking if I end up... Like, I have ideas for different novels and whatnot, and... Probably was thinking of having different pen names for some type of them. And... But bluntly, it was going to be a chick's name, and I was going to phrase it as if, you know, I'm not going to say, just keep using he, him, and that, you know? I would pretend that I was a chick, because otherwise it's defeating the point of the whole pen name. So it's just like, I can get the concept of using it, but not the way she's using it in the slightest. Aye, you're not one of them crazy-eyed reavers. I thought my luck could run out, but I'm more than happy to be proven wrong. Tides gates, here I come. Oh, shall fear the divine ruler of the sea. Guide my blade, Lord Leviathan. Remember before how they would pretend to... Lord of the world, your humble servant draws blood in your name. Remember how before one of the guys back at the at Ailport got impersonated by one of these crowd. There's always the chances that the one that I freed is such a phony. Here we go. Beautiful. Oh, there we go. The flames attract the attention of the dock guards. We will roast you in your own flames, Shorewalker. Oh, it's only to attract their attention. The holes in that are creeping me out. I think I complained about the anime girl with holes in her thing before in this series. Yeah, that was creepy. Chick lying in front of a fridge with various objects stuck in her. And she's just covered in holes from, like, one end to another. Even on her tongue. And it's creepy. Those are bigger as the nearer to the camera it is, but it could just be like to give a feeling of distance. But yeah, it's just like huge holes and like a full banana, something else just shoved in her leg, and it's disgusting. Creeps the hell out of me. Damn it. The barnacles are stoppered? Good. I was beginning to fear that spawning itself might be in peril. I'm grateful. If we do not spawn, it is the end of our people. What used to stride off to war if there are no spawnings to return to, no matriarch to continue the line? But the young males never listen. It is strange. It is a strange thing to be allied with these tattooed shorewalkers. Though the Reavers revere the same deity as we, there are many differences in the way we express our faith. I hear that even among the Finnish ones, there was once a religious sect that promoted worship of Lord Leviathan, and a fearful respect to the sea. Many Serpent Reavers are said to have been fervent believers of this creed, and willingly joined forces with our tribe. But now they force their beliefs onto unbelievers and drag victims kicking and screaming into the fold. Is it any wonder that our conflict with the Ulminsons worsens with every passing day? Another victory for our cause. Should the Tide's Gate fall, there will be no end to our battles with the Shorewalkers. We attack, they counterattack, and the unbroken chain of retaliation pulls more tightly around our necks. A simple truth, but one that my fanatic kin seem unable to grasp. The stench of smokes yet clings to you, Shorewalker. Lamp oil burns most fiercely, does it not? You've done well in depriving the Tridents of supplies, but I fear that you have developed a taste for pillage. I will keep an eye out for more flint. A little less than them. But beautiful all the same. Alright. Well, I've done what I can there. I guess all that's left is to continue the quest. The main quest. Well, I could go work on the book a bit. I was never this bad. Okay. Mine's blanking on something. Moving on. What? Didn't your mommy teach you it's rude to stare? Got business with me, venturer? So you're the man the Admiral sent word of? I was hoping I might catch a glimpse of Tancred too. Been a while since I saw his shite-eating grin. But what with all the doe-eyed wenches about, I suspect he's got his hands full. Ah, and you must be the Far Easterner what Melweb says wants to train with us. Welcome to Limsa, milady. I'm Yugari of Doma. It's an honor to make your acquaintance. Must confess, when I first learned of your organization, I had certain preconceptions as to the nature of your membership. It would seem I was mistaken. You're not the first person to say that, alas. Limsa is a city of pirates, to be sure, and pirates don't give two farts about keeping a spotless reputation. They hardly need a secret society to do their dirty work. Might be as my people and I keep to the shadows. We've got nothing to be ashamed of. It's simply better for business that we remain unseen. And so you've developed fighting techniques suited to this purpose. I see. Know that the practitioners of my art too are denizens of the shadow. Tis in stealth that our strengths lie. There is much we might learn from one another, I think. And what in seven hells are we waiting for? If you'd come with us, Yugari of the what's-it, we can get acquainted in more private surrounds. That didn't come out right, did it? Master Drumcran, I shall remain with these people for a time, that I might study their ways. Though I'm loath to be separated from my countrymen, I take solace in the knowledge that they are in the best of hands. You've been a true friend to us Domans. No words would suffice to express my gratitude. Ere long I hope to begin imparting my martial knowledge to the people of Eorzea. When the time comes, it will be my honor to welcome you as a student. I'm the Tone Elder Staff. I'm the Rod. Elfin Bow. Once 5.3 lands, they're changing up these quests to this whole quest chain. They're shortening it by like 13% apparently. You know, the return to so and so, return to so and so. They're getting rid of it. they're getting rid of them. Maybe some others. They're also boosting XP, maybe granting more items, that kind of thing. Here, one sec. Yeah, focusing back. 07, 08, 09, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. The highs. This game's such a bitch to audio bounce. For Eastern combat, are they? I must say, my curiosity's fairly peaked. Hear me, hear the game, see the game, and I'm deep recording. 33, 34, 35. Of course, it's been ages since Tancred's up and left his sisters. What I wouldn't give to run with the old scoundrel again, just like back in the old days. Yugari has the air of a woman bursting with gratitude. What did I just say? A moment ago.